Okay, we're back with some weird, spooky, paranormal TikToks videos from around the internet. Let's get into it.
Working on an old house in New England. And I mean old, this house is 1730, I think it was built. And you see something like this. I'm gonna turn it around and show you. See that horseshoe up there? Leave it. Don't take it away. Don't take it down. Leave it. That belongs there. If you're working on an old house.
This is like the same thing with the unwritten rules that everybody talks about in the Appalachian Mountains. I hate when people say, yeah, you see that? Don't move it. I'm not going to tell you why, but don't move it. But I think the horseshoe up in the roof of an old house in like the early or late 1700s, early 1800s was like an old tradition. It was basically meant to keep away like spirits, bad spirits, and keep good luck or something like that. It's not hurting anything up there. You're just rebuilding a house, might as well just keep it up there. You never know. But there's your reasons.
My fortune. Heavy was bigger. 4 had arms. Your fortune. With Furby listening.
I'm telling you, some of these Furbies are possessed. They just go off so randomly. I guess they still do it. Oh!
On Google Maps, there's a cemetery, and I'm like, I'll go check out this cemetery. But it's down a dead-end road, and and there's a guy walking, a farmer walking down the road, and I'm like, hey, is there a cemetery? I just like checking out old cemeteries. Is there a cemetery down? He's like, oh yeah, go down here and turn left. There's a gate. Go through the gate. There's cows, but don't worry about them, you know. So I go up, find the cemetery, and he's like, but if you're interested in that stuff, here's 2 other ones in the area that people don't know about. So I go to the one. It's cool. It's all just kind of grown over, but really old. And then I go to this other one, and it's on like a farmer's property. But this guy said it's fine. Don't worry about it. People go to it all the time, and because it's like this historical area. So I go up there, and I'm looking at this old guy. He's got to be 75, 80 years old. He rolls up in the truck, and he's like, interested in the cemetery, I see, you know, real Southern guy. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, that's a Mormon cemetery. And I'm like, Mormon? You're in Tennessee? Were there a bunch of more? He's like, no, these were the only ones. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, they came here. They tried to start a community. The people here in the 18 whatevers didn't want him there. And they took him to the county line and they killed him. And then this is where they buried him. And so Mormons come there regularly to have some sort of a remembrance or whatever. And I go, why'd they kill him? He goes, because they's Mormons. It was like, wow. You know, so you talk about like a history project. This is a guy that like owned this farm probably for his family for generations, and he was like, yeah, some president crossed the river right here, and this is where he, and this is this whole historical place. And you're like, oh yeah, that's why they killed him. They didn't like people that were different.
I'm from Tennessee, and yes, I believe this story. There's been so many countless deaths and stupid wars over religious views. I believe this story 100%.
During a museum visit, specifically inside a dinosaur exhibit, something inexplicable appeared to happen.
That thing is huge!
The hell?
Imagine trying to run away from that. No thanks, Jurassic Park.
If you watch closely, it genuinely looks like the dinosaur's head shifts position ever so slightly.
That thing is huge!
Pretty strange, but I think it might just be a optical illusion. That or Night at the Museum is based on a true story. Kind of wish that was true. If that was true, I'd try and get a job as security at a museum. Mostly just to befriend that little monkey and the stonehead guy who's like gum for my gum gum or something. I forget what he says.
You do dum dum, you give me gum gum.
Gum gum for my dum dum tum tum.
This is part 3 of things you should not do to see if your house is haunted, because sometimes it's better not knowing. You guys know my belief that all these entities are evil and demonic, but here is a surefire way to prove that there's something demonic in your house. 3 a.m. is known as the witching hour, and for a very bad reason. That's when paranormal activity is running rampant and at its strongest. The number 3 is very important in this because these demonic entities do things in threes to mock the Holy Trinity. That's why at 3 a.m. But like I told you in earlier videos, if you will use your voice memos on iPhone or the similar app on Android, just push record around 3 a.m. and see if you hear 3 knocks or 3 tapping noises. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. This is something else, again, I'm not saying you should do, but you guys ask, and I'm telling you, take my advice, don't do it, but if you feel like you need to know for sure, that's one way to find out. If you've ever done this, or if you do it, let me know what you find. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. God bless.
It's not 3 a.m., but we're going to try it out real quick. Nothing. If this works, I don't think it would have to be like 3 a.m. I think that's kind of a myth that just goes around. Everything happens around 2 or 3 a.m., the witching hour. But there you go. Next time you got to go to the bathroom around 3 a.m. or if you're like me on the weekends, you just stay up past 3 a.m. anyways. Shout out to my fellow night owls. Next time you got to go to the bathroom at 3 a.m., just start knocking on walls, waking up the whole house. They won't think you're crazy. Surely not.
What it's like to look through World War II demon sight goggles.
I can't remember exactly the story behind these, but I think World War II like pilots wore these. They said they would see demons and stuff when they wore them. I kind of want some of these for paranormal like investigation to wear through a haunted house. I think that would be pretty cool, just to wear around and walk around. Maybe when I walk a floor by myself or something, or maybe put them around the camera and then check the footage later. Not sure if that would work as well. Gonna have to get me some of these. I don't think they're cheap though.
Someone smuggled a cell phone out of North Korea. So North Korea banned the internet basically. They have like their own internet, but there's no way to see what's happening outside North Korea. But their phones, it's a smartphone, but it has basically nothing on it. But they do it to where if you text certain things, it changes the word. So one of them, I guess a very popular term in South Korea is like brother, but it's like yo dude or like whatever. And when you type in brother on that phone, it autocorrects it to comrade, and then it has like a notification that says you can only use this word when referring to someone in your family. And then if you type in South Korea, it switches to puppet state.
They're literally controlling speech, like the words you use.
Yeah, but what it also does is every 5 minutes it takes a screenshot of your phone and stores it in a folder on your phone that you can't look at. Only the authorities can look at it.
Oh man.
So it showed like this whole folder of screenshots, but it was like blurred out, and then like authorities have access to look at the screenshots.
When something gets texted or sent, they get flagged and they can go through it immediately.
Yeah.
Well, there's just a digital middleman in every conversation now.
Yeah, I believe it. I so believe it.
Yeah, and later on, they're definitely going to be controlling certain things, like especially when things go awry. Like they'll have to control certain info or ways of speech.
Yeah.
I mean, this probably happens on our phones here in the States, just in a different way. I bet people who have lived in North Korea all their life have a weird knowing of like the rest of the world based on how the government portrays everything outside of North Korea. If you haven't watched the documentary of Dennis Rodman when he went to North Korea, I highly recommend it. What a guy to send to North Korea.
Look at that. I've never seen that in real life.
No.
They're sunbathing.
And look at that. They are.
How fucking cool is that? Right in front of the fucking... Where'd the eagles go? Did they leave? No?
No.
They're still there?
They're still there. They're sitting on the fence. just sitting.
No, those ones on the fence I think are vultures, Sheila.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
I think those are the
Those-
California condor.
California condors.
Yeah, condors.
Condors. My goodness.
That's wild. And then the one that's just flying around them.
Look at that.
I've never seen that before.
Well, and I didn't notice there was one sitting right there.
I mean, you see vultures all the time not doing this. You can't, I have seen them doing this before, but I would be more interested in that bald eagle just out there chilling. I'd be recording him. Vultures are weird. This reminds me of like Jeepers Creepers though.
Jeepers Creepers. Yeah, what's going on here? Got one guy just stood there. He's been stood there for about an hour. This other guy just stood here. This woman just stood here. There's a guy in trees over there. That guy just stood there. There's a guy in 2 trees over there, and then this woman just stood here. But like, what they just stood here doing mad stuff. What the fuck? Right, now they've all just started walking. Just walking away. Just all walking randomly. They're all just stood there, stopped. Now they've all just started walking. Look, she just got on her thing and just started walking. What is going on? What's happening? Have we just witnessed some like... Have we just witnessed some sort of... What was it? I don't get it. What's going on? What? They've just started walking. Look, she's just walking.
That would be weird, but I wouldn't be able to hold back just asking like, what the hell are y'all doing? Maybe this is a real life glitch in the Matrix and the NPCs are just standing around.
I found a terrifying note in an Airbnb in the Appalachian Mountains last November. My family rented out an Airbnb up this winding road in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains. Everything was going smoothly, you know, like the first 3 or 4 nights. I did get a bit of a creepy vibe. One night, my parents were making dinner, and my little brother was going through stuff that was just on the kitchen counter of the Airbnb. He finds a notebook, and he's flipping through it, and he's like, Anna, what is this? It is a note written in very, like, creepy old cursive. I will read it to you. I could feel her watching. I know I shouldn't have looked. She was closer to the house than I expected. The creek covered the sound of her steps, if they made a sound. The light in the trailer never turns off. I have a feeling she knows why. And at first, I'm reading it, and I'm like, okay, weird. I realize there's a creek outside. It says the creek covered the sound of her steps. Then I'm like, if there's a trailer on the other side of this cabin, I'm gonna freak out. There is in fact a trailer. If the sun goes down and there's a light on in the trailer, I'm literally going to like cry. And my parents always think I'm like dramatic. So when I told them this is really creepy, can we please leave? They said, it's nothing. The sun goes down. I open the blinds. I look out. The trailer light is on. One dim, stringly light. Mind you, I did not have a bedroom. I had to sleep in the middle of the living room and have to think about a lady standing in the field by the creek, staring me down and watching me. I text my friends, they're like, get the heck out. I text my boyfriend, he's like, get the heck out. Everybody texted me saying, get the heck out. I talked to my parents, they're like, it's fine. To stay 3 more nights there, I posted a video on TikTok about it and all the comments were flooding saying, don't look outside. One of the nights, my dad, who was staying on the bottom floor, and they slept with their window open. No survival skills when it comes to Appalachian Mountains. And my dad said one night he shot awake because he smelled the worst smell that he ever smelled, and he thought one of us was in the kitchen burning something. He like ran into the kitchen and was like, who's cooking something? Is something burning? Nobody was awake, nobody else, and he described it as just like an extremely like pungent, disgusting smell coming through the window into his room. The morning that it's time for us to leave rolls around, and I'm literally like, I posted another video, it's literally me dancing, saying like, leaving the Airbnb. I was ecstatic to leave. We're all packing our things. I cannot make this up. There was a hairbrush lying on the ground perfectly next to the truck. Like a woman's hairbrush with hair still in it. It was nobody in my family's hairbrush. Little brother literally picks it up and he's like, is this your guys' hairbrush? I was like, put that down right now, because we had been leaving and coming from this cabin so many times throughout our trip. We never once saw the hairbrush. Then the last morning we were there, there's just an ominous hairbrush laying on the ground right next to the truck. Throw it in the creek. She can keep it. and we hightailed out of there and we drove home. And I've not been to the Appalachian Mountains since. Be careful if you go to the Appalachian Mountains. Those mountains have seen some things. They are literally older than dinosaurs, and I'm scared of them.
The smell is weird, I guess, but the note kind of sounded like a poem that somebody just got bored and wrote while they was staying there. And the light could just be maybe the owner of the Airbnb stays there in that trailer when they have people staying in the house or the cabin. I think a lot of the stuff people see in the Appalachians is just their mind overloads on thinking everything is paranormal. Definitely can be creepy in the Appalachians and out in the mountains, or it could just be the owner of the Airbnb messing with y'all.
All right, I'm gonna hop on this thing and see where it goes. Try to, at least. No idea where it's going. It goes straight into somewhere. Pretty weird around here, that's for sure. I think it's got all the cards too. Whoa, what is that? No, I'm out. Want nothing to do with that.
Come on, that looks pretty cool. I think I'd just sit there and ride that about half the day, just hang out with some people to see where it goes. Be a cool place for a movie, a cool set. I mean, the rest of the city looks pretty nice. Just this part and the other part. It looks pretty cool to me. I'd love to drive down it. Maybe even walk down it, go in some of these old abandoned buildings. I'm crazy though. Probably not as bad of a town as they make it out to be right here. Just a little rundown part here. No. Oh man, you know somebody's looking out their window seeing that and just freaking out. Oh, that's pretty funny. Where in the hell is this? A strange looking place. Oh no. God. Yep, get out. Jesus. Dude, that almost popped you in the head.
Oh my gosh, look at you. Why you attack me? Baby bear attack. The way he walks around is so funny. Oh my goodness.
He side-eyed you and then turned around and came back.
Uh-oh. Oh, you got me. You got me.
Be cute to have for a few months. I would have to have like a little red t-shirt on him. Just have a little mad, ferocious Winnie the Pooh running around, charging at you all the time.
Museum staff and investigators claim she has triggered fire alarms, moved objects independently, caused electronic recordings. One investigator even reported feeling an unseen force grab his shirt and seeing...
Why does she have like, such a smug face? It's like, try me.
The photo's owner recounts a strange experience that occurred while visiting a friend's trailer in Pennsylvania during the local Slovenian festival. They later discovered that long ago a tragic incident occurred nearby involving a little girl who had drowned in the river. While taking a seemingly innocent Snapchat photo of their friends posing together, the uploader insists no one else was behind the group at the time. Yet mysteriously, a blurred and indistinct figure of what appears to be a little girl emerged in the background of the photo.
What about this creepy ass little girl out here? Looking like a little demon. Look at that. Forget this.
Oh, there is a UFO. There's a UFO in Tennessee.
Oh, it's the Goodyear blimp. It's probably about as rare a seeing as a UFO now. You got lucky. You got to see the Goodyear blimp flying around. It's about like seeing the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Yeah, I'm sure Bigfoot is out there lining himself up perfectly in the vision of everybody looking down straight at him while he's looking straight up at you and kind of doing a... There was another one in like Colorado. I think it was around Colorado where the people were riding the train and they had it lined up just perfectly. And then I guess they had somebody down there walking around with those Bigfoot just looked up, something like that. I'm about to try and find that, put it in here. Yeah, this is it. Come on. It might be the same people. Or maybe all this is real and people like me just to miss it so easily. But hard to believe.
I one of them finding dead bodies underneath my house, y'all. So this was a secret house, I call it.
This all started in March of 2025. She notices a very disgusting fragrance coming out of her drains. She lets the landlord know about the smell and he tells her it's no big deal and to just dump Fabuloso and bleach down the drains. The smell is not going away, so she decides to take it into her own hands and calls a plumber. The plumbers come out and that's when they realize these pipelines are leading somewhere else on the property. They come across this wall and they realize it's not supposed to be there. Somebody put this wall up themselves, so they have to open it. That's when they come across a horrifying discovery. An entire living space was hidden underneath her rental. Dark stains dripping down from the ceilings, windows that are boarded up from the inside and the outside, and there's also holes punched in the walls. The worst of it all is she discovers scratch marks, very deep scratch marks, along with blood stains. She says it clearly looks like a crime scene, and when she tells the landlord about it, he says it's no big deal.
I mean, if this is all true, it sounds like the landlord is a little suspect here. It's like the movie Barbarian. Where do these windows go, though? Wouldn't you be able to see those from outside? I don't know.
Frick you, demons.
What's good, my guy? You want to smoke?
Jesus Christ.
Frick you, demon.
Y'all looked over, I said, what the? Look at him. Let me zoom in. Y'all. Look at him. Man, listen. It's a big one. The one in the front, he big. And he got y'all. Got a long neck. Look, I see 2 legs. I see an arm. If I'm not mistaken, it might be 3 of them. I don't know, y'all.
Creepy real photos that keep me up at night, part 25. This photo was posted to Reddit with the caption, "In 2019, we took this photo and later realized the creepy lady in the reflection. Nobody there was wearing a purple shirt and she is not seen in the other photos that are seconds apart. Zoom warning in 3, 2, 1. I regret zooming. Follow for more creepy.
It's Michelle Myers. How does that prove you are a vampire?
Okay. It says no trespassing. Well, look, it's a lot of grass, people. Hope there's no snakes down here. Oh, shit. No. There's no doorknob. There's a light.
It's boarded up. It's not a door.
No. Let me see if there's a back door. At the second location of a cemetery, it's a church, Mount Olive Baptist Church, organized 1915. So, but it looks like it's locked, so I'm not going to be able to go in. And I'm certainly not going to unlock it because that would be trespassing now, wouldn't it? Or are you able to go in? Let's see. Oh, okay. Able to go in. Hope I don't get in trouble for that, but let me in. It's 1857, 1929. I'm looking for a family. Back of the house, you see that window? It has a curtain in it. That's all boarded up. I feel like I saw someone in the window, so I'm getting the F-U-C-K out of here. That's it for me. Jesse, you're putting me too much to work. Could be in danger. Back to here it is.
Little vampire house shows nothing that would say it's a vampire house. These are boarded up to keep people out. That's why these are not boarded up. What are you saying? Like a vampire can fly up here, open the window and go in? At least a vampire has a window unit to keep them cool. What do? Stay downstairs all day to avoid the light? Oh, Lord.
This house was so violently haunted, a priest had to perform a full-blown exorcism, and it still didn't work. The Hinsdale house in New York is one of the most terrifying haunted homes in America. In the 1970s, the Dandy family moved in and were immediately tormented by unexplained footsteps, chanting in the woods, shadow figures, and levitating objects. Things got so bad the family called in a priest. He performed an exorcism right inside the house, but the spirits never left. In fact, investigators say the haunting only intensified. People still report being scratched, seeing apparitions, and even losing time. Some say the land itself is cursed. Others believe something demonic is still inside. Would you spend the night here? Because I did. And what we caught on camera will make your skin crawl.
All these cool places are so far away from me. Sad. Do you have, oh yeah, cats from TikTok. I was about to say you have cats. This is Richie from another dimension. The Richie in this video messed up and lost the original audio for these final clips, but here they are anyways. And also thank you for all of you who have subscribed. I really appreciate it. Okay, bye. Her work is so awesome. Got a little Chucky gizmo. It's when you aren't alone and there's like somebody staying there. Yeah. That's the most unsettling part. I love abandoned places and going into them, but you always got to be watching out, especially like crazy, you know what heads in there. This reminds me of when a bunch of friends and I and my sisters were with us, and we went to Dead Children's Playground in Huntsville. It's an old cemetery with a playground. Swings are supposed to move by themselves and stuff. Cool place. But we was walking back because they had the gate closed. You weren't supposed to be there at nighttime. But they had the gate closed, and you had to park at the gate and walk down there. And about halfway to walking towards the playground, all of us see like a light shining and coming towards us, and we all just book it and start running back to the car. We was all young, but we start booking it back to the car and just leaving my sisters and them alone. I did turn around though. I did turn around and go back for my sisters, but everybody else just booked it. And to turn out, it was just like two dudes walking back, and the dude had a lighter. He was just playing with the lighter. It looks like an old Amish doll. I've held one of these that supposedly was cursed. You can't tell me a doll is haunted. I'm gonna like hold it, try to befriend it. Those old Amish dolls had like a blank white face. It looks like somebody just kind of drew a face on it. Dum dum for my dum dum tum tum.
Oh bother.